Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th Canto, chapter 26, text 37.
I don't know the number, but it's this one.
This one?
Yes.
So that's text 36. Yasmiha adhya bhimathir ahankritis tiryat prikshana sarvato divishankiyata vyayanosha chintaya parishushmana hridaya vadano nirvritim nanavagato graha ivartham abhirakshati sachapi pratyatat utpandanot karshana samrakshana shamala graha shuchi mukhe narake nipatati yatraha vitaha graham papa purusham dharmaraj purusha Vadakaiva sarvatongeshu sutraira parivayanti. Translation. One who in this world or in this life is very proud of his wealth always sings, I am so rich, who can equal me? It's okay, Shloka, you read it before.
No. No.
His vision is twisted, and he is always afraid that someone will take his wealth. Indeed, he even suspects his superiors. His face and heart dry up at the thought of losing his wealth, and therefore he always looks like a wretched fiend. He is not in any way able to obtain actual happiness, and he does not know what it is to be free from anxiety. Because of the sinful things he does to earn money, augment his wealth and protect it, he is put into a hell called Shuchimuka, where the officials of Yamaraj punish him by stitching threads through his entire body, like weavers manufacturing a cloth. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When one possesses more wealth than necessary, he certainly becomes very proud. This is the situation of man in modern civilization. According to Vedic culture, Brahmanas do not possess anything, whereas Kshatriyas possess riches, but only for performing sacrifices and other noble activities as prescribed in the Vedic injunctions. A Vaishya also earns money honestly through agriculture, cow protection and some trade. If a Shudra gets money, however, he will spend it lavishly, without discrimination, or simply accumulate it for no purpose. Because in this age there are no qualified Brahmanas, Kshatriyas or Vaishyas. Almost everyone is a Shudra, Kalau Shudra Sambhava. Therefore the Shudra mentality is causing great harm to modern civilization. A Shudra does not know how to use money to render transcendental loving service to the Lord. Money is also called Lakshmi, and Lakshmi is always engaged in the service of Narayan. Wherever there is money, it must be engaged in the service of Narayan. Wherever everyone should use his money to spread the great transcendental movement of Krishna consciousness. If one does not spend money for this purpose, but accumulates more than necessary, he will certainly become proud of the money he illegally possesses. The money actually belongs to Krishna, who says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. I am the true enjoyer of sacrifices and penances, and I am the owner of all the planets. Therefore nothing belongs to anyone but Krishna. One who possesses more money than he needs should spend it for Krishna. Unless one does so, he will become puffed up because of his false possessions, and therefore he will be punished in the next life as described herein. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saraswati Devam Guravani Prachani Nirvishesha Shnivani Pashkati Desatani. One who in this world or this life is very proud of his wealth always sings, I am so rich, who can equal me? His vision is twisted, and he is always afraid that someone will take his wealth. Indeed, he even suspects his superiors. his face and heart dry up at the thought of losing his wealth, and therefore he always looks like a wretched fiend. He is not in any way able to obtain actual happiness, and he does not know what is to be free from anxiety. Because of the sinful things he does to earn money, augment his wealth and protect it, he is put into a hell called Suchimukha, where the officials of Yamaraj punish him by stitching thread through his entire body like a weaver's manufacturing cloth. So, as the demons always say, money is the honey. No, actually the money is not the honey. It seems like in the material world everything is centered around the concept of money. It's actually a concept nowadays. There is no money. It's paper. Prabhupada says, you just print paper. The original currency was backed by gold. So whatever paper manifested a value of gold. And only that much paper was there, printed on the first American dollar. For this, actually $1, you get this amount of gold. And in this way, there was some stability. And then, of course, there was more economic development taking place in a mode of passion. That means the concept, I want more, get more, get more. And as soon as that enters, while there's not that much gold around to back it up, at least not available, so we just keep on printing money more, paper. Just printing papers. You know, I remember before the Second World War, I think one loaf of bread in Germany cost like 5 million Deutschmarks. You know, it was sheets of this big. Now they don't print big sheets, they stay small sheets, but there's still nothing in it. It's just paper. And the whole concept that for this paper I get this value is more and more illusory. Whole cities in America now go completely bankrupt. Bankrupt to the level you cannot imagine. The hospitals stop functioning. The police is not functioning anymore. The basic social services are not functioning anymore. People just roam on the streets without any employment. You know, that's just a very closed situation where people get so angry, especially Shudra, when he gets angry, he starts to smash something. And then, that's his solution to the problem. You know, you are angry, you smash something. That's Shudra. With no regret what happens thereafter. Things are just simply smashed at the end. You know. So this destructive pattern started already very quickly, and it's always happening in a human society. Where rascals, demons, Shudras get in charge, they just ruin the situation around them aimlessly, because they just think about the next immediate enjoyment. They cannot think ahead. They cannot think in terms of stability. Ignorance, there is no stability in ignorance. You know, it's only way down. Stability can be found only in a mode of goodness. Any other modes will bring big problems. Even mode of goodness has its own problem, but it's relatively minor in comparison to the other modes when they start to become prominent. Passionate people, they just run around with not much result sometimes. They just do things. There's nothing worse as an active idiot. Prabhupada discriminates between passive idiot and active idiot. You know, passive idiot, well, he is harmful enough, but basically contained to his own tamasic environment. But active idiot, he will impose himself upon others, he will preach, he will spread plans how to become even more idiotic, you know, and he will be in a missionary spirit to spread the foolishness all around the globe. Welcome to America. But, you know, this is like, you know, stupidity on every corner. And everything what Prabhupada said, you try to patch up with money, you Westerners. You don't deal actually with the problem, you just patch it up. Like somebody broke his leg and you bandage his leg with money bills. No, inside it's still broken. You will not, and it gets even worse. So money, and at the end, there is not even that system doesn't work, so everything implodes, just crash together. And has to start with a new system. a new way to do things. Now people are so brainwashed they cannot imagine one can do things differently. They were completely educated and trained from the school, from the childhood, into a vision that this is life. First you have to go to school. And all schools starts basically, I think, 8 o'clock. I don't know in Denmark, but 8 o'clock. Now somebody brought a revolutionary idea. Why not start 9? Because 8 o'clock everybody is so stressed. But stressed why? Because the parents also are heading already for the job. So everything is in the same pattern. Just jumping in a cars, buses, transportation, heading for the schools and the place of work. Then it kind of settles down, 9 o'clock, everybody is learning, working. Like they would say, this is management, this is orderly. No, it can be done completely differently. Of course we have our sadhana also, but like when you could see traces of that in an interview between Srila Prabhupada and the main Gurukula teachers in Vrindavan and Mayapur, meeting. And Prabhupada, they asked Prabhupada, now we are training all our children to be Brahmana, which was the, priority Prabhupada gave. Prabhupada said, but they will not all be Brahmanas. Oh, what will they be then? Well, we have options here mentioned. Venu, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra. So Prabhupada said, how are you teaching them? Well, we have a scheme of 40 minutes full blast teaching and 20 minutes break. Then again, 40 minutes, this is known that children cannot focus more on that point. I think they have even a kind of statistics.
5 minutes.
Huh?
20 minutes.
Maximum they can keep focus. Then they space out. This is scientifically researched. So even 40 minutes is a challenge. You have to, I noticed myself when I was teaching a little bit, you have to download the first thing in the early section of the whole thing, because after that they are just dispersing, trying to start to make nonsense and cannot focus. So 40 minutes already is a lot. And then, the teachers asked Prabhupada, what will the kids in this 20 minutes break? Prabhupada's answer was quite simple. Nonsense. Let them go. Play. They were like, what? Our children are supposed to be Brahmanas, they never play. They are just pumping the shlokas and they are sadhana and they have their heads shaved clean with ghee polished and they are standing there and they go, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, until their eyes pop out of their heads. We do this kind of line where that goes. We lost quite a bit of people like this way, who just goes, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And then they go, woo! And they go straight into the material energy and very quickly try to catch up, but they stop with some very sinful activity. Because the pressurized thing is completely unproportional to the constitutional design of that. And it is unproportional because we are all supposed to be in Maya here. This is the kingdom of Maya. So to become Krishna conscious is a struggle. You swim against the stream. Still, how do you swim? According to your means, according to your design, and that's where Varnashrama comes into the picture. So the teachers were very confused. I know the history of our Gurukula in ISKCON is not exactly a pinky one. And I don't want to go into that. But it's not exactly a romantic walk through a rose garden, whereby all these children being raised, even under very catastrophic and demanding and chaotic circumstances, as one of devotee rightly commented, he said, what do you expect from hippie parents, hippie teachers and hippie children? This was the generation that Gurukula started. So you start to do some educational system out of that. Well, there will be some problems. Who even said that these children were produced under regulated Krishna conscious circumstances? They are just children, right? Where do they come from? We don't know. Especially the first generation and whatever generation, you don't know. You just see a child. I know Gurukula children which were still produced at the height of some LSD trip. Yeah. So the time of production of a child, it's a very actually important time, because according to your consciousness, you invite the one who is coming. It's anyway birds of the same feather flock together. So, so if the parents are completely intoxicated and they kind of accidentally produce a child, well, that's a special program for this, powered by Lord Shiva, who especially in the late afternoon circumambulating or traveling around universe with his followers, who are practically all ghosts and hobgoblins and all kinds of funny creatures, who are looking desperately for a physical body, because they have only a subtle body. So this time of illicit sex life and reproduction in this way is perfect, like a landing strip, for them. Lord Shiva goes, look, both intoxicated, having sex life, late afternoon or midnight in Roskilde festival. Great. After the Woodstock, the original Woodstock festival in America, it was even noticed the increased rate in the American population, and it's a big country, It make an impact. This was the result of this hippie freedom. Everybody got pregnant. And then what? You produce your child to the music of Jimi Hendrix, what do you expect? It's going to be a ghost, embodied ghost. And then comes all this. And nowadays, basically, we can say the whole population is ghostly haunted. People do things which even the last bit of kind of reasonably thinking people, or somewhat logically, cannot understand. Why are people doing things like that? Well, it's just a ghost who got embodied, and he's just going, performing his pastimes here. That's all. Small children kidnap other children and kill them. There's a whole range of things. They don't even legally think how to handle this. They have no laws for this. Nobody ever did this before. So they are just, what is this? So this is the prelude to hellish planets, because they come from hellish planets and they return back to hellish planets. So this facilitation of hellish consciousness is not happening in Krishna consciousness or in a Vedic culture. We try to prevent it by any means, by teaching people. We are teaching people even how to have sex. They don't even know that. We can teach in so many levels. We are teaching people how to regulate their lives and start to act like normal, human beings. We are not speaking about transcendental or spiritual life. Human beings. There are so many things which people are accustomed to accept as normal, because that's a problem. Prabhupada called it, you become habituated. You have a habit and you just do it. You don't even know why you are doing this actually. You're just doing it. It's like every morning, do the same, people do the same. Like sometimes, I don't think people even know why they are sitting in front of the TV. They're just sitting there, because that's what you do. Because Shudra likes patterns. Shudra doesn't like to be innovative or something new, or he is not productive. He just likes to walk and do the same thing. In the evening, he plunges into the sofa, there's a beer and the sport channel, clink, and he is doing it because all his friends are doing it too. That's what you do nowadays. And that's how you introduce absolute stupidity. You just do it. And people go, what? No, he's doing it. Let's do it. I have to play it also. And they all end up in the same thing, doing something completely stupid. And when you ask them, why are you doing this? Well, it's fun. But you don't look very happy. Yeah, but everybody's doing it. They told me I'll become happy like this. So I'm doing it. People don't ask questions. Who started this whole foolish thing? Why should I do that? Even, it goes very fast. Even in my lifetime already, when I was growing up, there was out of question that things happen in such a broad daylight like today. People will get very upset about this or do something about it or something. No, people are habituated. Yes. And this is how it goes more and more and more. Like I remember when I was, growing up, and it was a very revolutionary time. Let's do something really special, new. But to see a picture of a topless woman was that was practically like sex life, really, That was very, heavy. Now it's just like what? Prabhupada said first topless, then bottomless, then that's it. Anyway. Like he was very upset about John Lennon, who was actually accommodating him under the influence of the other Beatles quite okay, but never really took part much in Krishna consciousness. He just was thinking it's funny to have a Swami around. That's nice. So he accommodated him. Then a few weeks later, there was this big picture, of John Lennon, naked with his very, avant-garde, progressive wife, Asian wife, and both naked, it was very nice, big exhibit pictures in it. That was very revolutionary those days, really. Well, a few weeks later, John Lennon got shot on the street and he was dead. So, Prabhupada was so upset, he said, look, John Lennon, it's nudity. Like what is this? How can a man be public and be proud of it? Yeah, let's do it. There's no restriction, there's no decency. And from today's point of view, this is just like some funny pictures. So what? So what is normal, it's always adjusted by the... Goebbels gave it nice, he said very nice. Truth is always defined according to the present needs of the society. That's Goebbels speaking. That's a demon. He was total cynic. When he gave his last speech, Germany was already collapsing. Everybody knew that show is lost. The leaders knew that. But he gave a speech in Berlin to thousands of people in a big hall, calling for the ultimate victory, not defeat. Victory. Actually, time came where it's just a trick. First we kind of retreat, so we can collect all the force we have, and then we smash them all to pieces. It's a trick, we have a plan here. And people were fascinated, as Germans get fascinated about anything stupid. So they were all standing there, oh, wow! We didn't know, there's actually a plan here. We are winning, we are not losing. He asked the ultimate question, do you want the total and ultimate war? And they're going, yeah! Ecstatic! And then it's recorded by his secretary when he exited the stage from the microphone. And he went back and gave a silent comment. Bunch of brainwashed sheeps. He was a total cynic. He was just made for one purpose, to sell anything to the people. And he was good at it. So this is Kali Yuga. You can sell to people anything if it's packaged in a certain way, presented in a certain way. There was even an attempt to commercialize Krishna consciousness and sell it to people really good. Like right away in the beginning, Prabhupada wanted to have a world Sankirtan party. Devotees traveling around and chanting, yeah. So when the result was this song we hear every morning, Govinda Maripurusham, this is coming from that production, There was records produced by George Harrison, there's an album, the Krishna album, what it was. And of course it didn't take long, some big-time commercial promoter, one of these guys who collects the new talents and makes a fancy rock groups out of them, he approached the devotees also. And he said, wow, you have a nice band together. I will make you famous all over the world. You can have we will fill up the stadiums and and we can make a big money. Here we go again, the money. And devotees were excited. Wow! Just imagine. Wow, far out. You know? And then they came to Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, never. Forget it. He said, we are not professional musicians. We are the Hare Krishna chanters. We are not musicians. No. We are not musicians. Even sometimes it's painful to stand in a kirtan and a devotee involved sings like a Donald Duck in puberty. But what can you do? It's terrible. He doesn't know how to sing. But when he is praying sincerely, there is a reason to tolerate. When he is sincerely praying, because the chanting is a prayer. And Krishna doesn't pay attention how eloquent you pray, or how fancy you pray. He pays attention how sincerely you pray. And this is important to him. Of course it's nice when it comes a little bit more in a melody which everybody can follow. You cannot follow a Donald Duck in puberty. It's very difficult. So you just kind of, okay, and he's praying there, and you just go, what was this? What was the tune? You cannot catch up the tune, and what is this? So it's demanding for the rest, but when it's sincerely done, and this is what Krishna accepts, the sincerity. He is seriously praying. It's actually nice. There's even a story I heard from my god brother. I never read this in Prabhupada's books. It's described somewhere in the scriptures how Krishna in the spiritual world, they have also Varnashrama there. So there's Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras, but they are all pure devotees, of course. So they serve Krishna wholeheartedly, and especially Brahmanas are not known for a great sensuality and very eloquent singing. You cannot expect it from all the Brahmanas. Neither they are sometimes very beautiful. They are usually Brahmanas are skinny, long throat, big ears. It's one of my definitely Brahmanical godbrothers who looks like that, said, other people are so beautiful and they sing so nicely, and they have so many problems with that, because that's where women go after form, sound, this, even the shape of the seeker. But he said, so my godbrothers sometimes they are so beautiful, they sing so nicely, they have many problems. And I am so ugly and I sing so horrible, I have no problem. He was happy. He said, I with big ears. He has ears like a medium-sized elephant. And he said, very nice. This is devotee thinking. The real beauty comes from another department, not from the size of the ears, but from the purity in preaching. This is where the beauty is. And that, as they say, even cows, they say, the beauty comes from inside. But all what they do is from outside. What is that inside? They don't know. But they got the concept, they get the concept. No, something within, something there. Especially female, they always go something within, something inside. But actually they only sing about pregnancy. That's the inside. The whole origin, so everything is designed to reproduce themselves. That's the inside, and there's a whole lecture to it and a whole thing around it, how we should all think about the inner beauty. But actually at the end everybody is pregnant. So and when that inside comes outside, it gets very difficult. It's not so beautiful. There'll be lots of nappies and lots of stool and lots of vomit. We are not negative. We are just describing what's going on. But material nature helps us by covering it up so nicely. So we all think, oh, it's not so bad, it's nice. Like when somebody is born, everybody is celebrating. Ah, very nice. Well, first of all, the birth in itself is not so nice. I think many people will agree. Second of all, Prabhupada said the minute